Like you're challenging them to.
I think it just gives off like, I don't really care.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I know. I think as I've said, great combo. Pair of boxers I had in the motor, wrapped round, duct tape, and as the day went on, it got worse and worse to the point my hand was no use. And do you know,
Wool's at the price it is, and I don't think it's going to change much.
But I just don't think that should be a factor in the price in a shearing.
It's all a big gamble, isn't it? And I love the gamble. We all love the gamble.
The store lamb thing absolutely is.
Yeah, no.
Although it hasn't been the last few years, it's been such a safe bloody bet, it seems, but they're getting so expensive. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we're all
Fed by farmers.
Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
We are back with another interview this week. This time it is Dougie Steele, best known as being a big-time shearing contractor up in the central belt of Scotland.
Yes.
Fintry and the surrounding areas, covers a massive area. I think maybe goes to St Andrews. I didn't ask him that in the podcast. Before we start, who are we thanking?
We are thanking Crystalyx and Tracesure by Animax.
Yes, thank you to them both. I am battering into the Crystalyx at the moment, out to the ewes. If you have sheep in the shed for lambing or they're at that tickly point where they're heavy and lamb, they can hardly get enough nutrition into them to keep the whole job right. That's where Crystalyx comes in and what's great. It's like you need like a teaspoonful or something, or less than a teaspoonful a day just to keep them right.
Wonder how many licks is in a teaspoon.
That is a bloody good. That should be in the quiz.
Shouldn't it?
How many licks is in a teaspoon? Ashley, could you look that up, please? Anyway, that's enough of that. So thanks to them and to Tracesure by Animax for continuing to support the podcast. We'll hear more about that later in the show. Dougie's a good mate of mine that's in the podcast this week. I first sort of got to know Dougie through crutching lambs up at Stirling Market. That's where we shear the bellies prior to being sold in the fat ring. I did that for 4 or 5 years, I think. Working up there. Fantastic group of boys. I mean, terrible group of boys, but that's what makes them fantastic. They're a laugh. They're absolutely ruthless. They're brutal. We talk a lot about shearing, about how Dougie's route into it and how he got there. Are we doing a Friday chat this week?
We are.
Okay. Well, let's not keep this too long.
Yeah,
and just get
short
into it
and sweet.
We'll catch up on Friday about different things.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Here's Dougie. Mr. Douglas Steele joins us here in the Fed by Farmers studio. Dougie, tell us a bit about yourself. I've done an introduction before this and said a little bit, but I don't really know that much.
You've thrown him right in there. That's a big question, isn't
I
it?
know,
Tell us a bit about yourself.
That is a big question.
I know he shears a few sheep and he's got a few wee boys that shear sheep with him. But apart from that, and some big girls as well, of course. You'll be the largest employer of female shearers in the country, is that right?
I don't know. Possibly. Possibly.
So where are you from? You're Stirling.
So I'm from Fintry, Stirlingshire, on a dairy farm. So nothing to do with sheep. Just got really interested with sheep.
So you were born on a dairy farm.
Yeah.
So parents were farming. And do you have siblings?
Aye, there's 4 of us.
Right, okay.
So my brother runs a dairy farm now. My sister's in Dumfries, my other brother's in Thornhill.
Right. And did they carry on with farming as well?
They're still on farming, yes.
Right.
Why did you not run the dairy farm?
I was the youngest.
Okay.
So I was the...
Old school, it goes by age, does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye, no, but that's fine, you know. So I was interested in sheep and went up to my Uncle John at Gribloch Farm and he taught me all I needed to know about sheep.
Okay.
And that started from there. Got my first sheep when I was about 15. But I always wanted to go to Australia just to tour. And then when the time came, once I left school with no qualifications at all.
That's all right. That's all
None.
right. I think that's a good thing to
think?
shout about.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a real warning to any kid that doesn't stick in at school is look what could happen to you. You could end up running the crutching at United Auctions.
My last year at school was spent in Stirling in a pool table, I think.
Is that
What is it? So do you just not
What were you
go?
just hustling? Literally just playing pool? In the pub, you mean?
There was
In the pub?
There was a funny story. My mate was in at the dentist and stole a lot of signed cards
Signed cards?
for the dentist.
Oh, for prescriptions?
Yeah. So
To get a prescription?
every Tuesday, we were on the bus to go get our teeth done. we were just away to play pool.
You kidding?
To get you out of school, you mean? Sorry.
get out of
Sorry, I
school.
thought you meant you stole a prescription book
No,
and you
no,
were getting
no,
drugged.
no,
or
no.
something.
That was like, God, it's taking a turn.
Oh, so you just punched him for the dentist.
Well, he did.
Okay.
So we would take us and our mates and we'd go play. And the teachers thought we either had the worst teeth in the world or the best teeth in the world.
Yeah.
But actually, we were just playing pool and a couple of wee share bips now and again, like, you know. So,
As you could back in those days.
as you could back in those days, yes.
Yeah.
So then from there, my Uncle John taught us how to shear. And then we went to, as I say, I wanted to go to Australia. And somebody said, no, you should go to New Zealand. So I ended up going to New Zealand.
What age were you then?
I didn't want to go until I was 21.
Right.
So I went directly after my 21st birthday.
What was the reason for that?
Just maturity.
Okay.
I just thought to myself,
You'd have more confidence. And,
aye, yes.
I think you must have been quite mature at the time to think like that, though.
He just
know.
said he was stealing dentist cards and going playing pool. must have matured fast in 5 years.
Right, aye. I had my pool career to
Aye,
Get
that
on
to
there,
focus
aye,
on
that's
before he
right,
went to
yeah.
the shearing. Aye.
And honestly, so I went to New Zealand for a year, but I had no intentions of being a shearer,
Right,
even at
okay.
that point.
Oh, but you must
Right.
have.
We'd done a small part of shearing, not a really...
Oh, you weren't contracting? or?
No, not
Right.
at all. No. Didn't think I was ever going to shear sheep.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
It's a natural feeling of a dairy farmer's son. You know, I don't know many dairy farmers' sons that get into it, to be fair.
So, and to be honest, I couldn't get a job because you couldn't do 200 a day. And I didn't know how many I could do because we were just going to a farm and shearing 50. We used to shear them coming out the crush, catch the next one,
yeah.
you know, open the crush door.
Aye,
and-
small
Yeah.
bits and
yeah. And it was good love. That's just what you done. So then from there, I met a lot of amazing people in New Zealand at that point who I'm still very good friends with, like, you know. And stayed in Waikaka, wee village just outside of Goa, for over 6 months with Laurie and Sharon Patterson, who are Waikaka genetics. So
Okay. Is this Romney's, is it? Or is it?
Romney's and Hereford stud.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and they're a big player now, like, you know, so, and I'll message Laurie maybe once a month.
Right, okay.
I've done for the last 33 years, you know.
Yeah, keep
So
in touch.
that's how it keeps in touch with New Zealand, even yet. So, come back from New Zealand.
But you're, not to interrupt you, but you're jumping ahead there. You just said you were 6 months there. What did you do in the 6 months apart from on the piss?
I was farming.
Like in a tractor?
Yeah, so I needed a job. So I jumped in a car, bought a car, and drove from Balclutha right round the Tago Valley, come down, and I knocked on every door on the road down
Did you?
Oh, did
and
you?
asked for a job. And nobody had a job for me. I remember I ended up staying at somebody's farm because they just ended up in the beers.
Oh, so to say, I've
Couldn't
not got
get
a job,
home.
but come and get a
Aye,
beer.
come and get a beer. You know, I'll show you around the farm, things like that.
Yeah.
So I knocked on all these doors, and Laurie Patterson was the first person to take the calendar down off the wall and say, "You're starting now on this day."
Okay.
Right.
So
So you'd never met them before, never
Never
made
met them in
contact?
my life,
You just
no.
you just knocked their door.
I just knocked
Wow.
on their door,
Fair play.
and they gave me a job, and I ended up being there in the area of Waikaka for 6 months.
Yeah.
And marking was the first job,
Right.
marking lambs. I think we marked over 25,000 lambs.
Okay.
So,
I can't even
crack.
picture that many sheep.
and my job was to pick them up.
Oh, jeez.
So
As
I
the boy
picked up
would.
most of them.
Yeah.
And aye, it was great.
Would
fun.
they have tailing shoots back then?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they did?
Yeah. And I brought one home with me. So I pretty much probably the first one in.
But it wouldn't be the roller ones back then,
Yes,
it'd be
it
the
was.
ones you flip up. It was a
Nope,
roller one.
Roller, yep.
Aye,
got
30 odd year ago.
30 odd year ago, yep. And it's still on the go yet.
Are you, when you
I
bought
don't have it, but it's still on the go.
Yeah, there we go. Fantastic.
So Neil Bowser brought it in for me.
Aye. They've always been very inventive. to be fair.
I've been, yes, no, because as soon as I come home, I brought a Pratley as well.
And they want to go 30 year ago as well in New Zealand.
Yep.
Similar to
You were hardly born.
I was going to say, you must have been there, what, 91, 92?
Yeah, 92, 93.
There you go, I was born 1990, just a boy. But different generations, but
That's right.
I'll catch you, yeah. This is why you're here, Doug, so I can learn from you.
You don't need to learn from me.
Learn what to avoid.
That's correct. Yes, correct answer.
But when you're like 21, like the thought of taking on the challenge of marking 25,000 lambs, like as you get older, it's a bit like, oh, it's a chore. But back then, you're like, what a buzz.
That's what it was. Yeah, 100%.
Aye.
It was fantastic, and the people we met.
It'd be beers every night, and
it was.
Hunt away dogs, and were they into shots and mullets back then?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably. Yep.
Rugby shorts, mullets.
Rugby shorts, mullets, whatever. Even.
Did you have a mullet?
I didn't. No. I can't think of having a mullet. No.
What about tash? They'd have tashes back then. A lot of them like a mullet and a tash. It's a good combo.
It's a great look.
If you can pull off a tash, fair play.
Do you know what I think? It's confidence. I think MD can pull off a tash. It's the attitude that goes with it.
Right. Okay. Like Top Gun style. Like
yes. Yeah.
Goose.
Like Goose.
He had a tash.
You can just pull it off.
Maverick didn't have a tash.
No, Maverick. But that's probably because he can't grow one. Tom Selleck. Yeah. He's a great tash man. You'll maybe not get him. He was on Friends. You'd maybe know him.
Oh yeah,
he was older boy. He was older boy. Went
Monica.
Richard. That's him. Tom Selleck. I think it is. He could pull off a tash.
Yeah.
Confidence is probably right.
Yeah.
Magnum PI, wasn't he?
Exactly. It's maybe just an absolute power play walking in with tash. Like you're challenging them to.
I think it just gives off like I don't really care. Mullet and a tash,
Think so?
Yeah.
No, I think as I've said, great combo. Anyway, you had neither a mullet nor a tash, nor a hunt away dog.
No, I'll be honest, I had nothing.
Did you see as the well, you're not really a pom, would they call you a pom?
No, I was called Haggis.
Haggis
was my nickname.
What's pom? Is that like a name for a Scottish person?
No, an English person.
That was an English person.
Right.
It's a prisoner of Her Majesty, isn't it? That's what it stands for.
I think so.
A pom.
Right.
I think that's what it was. So it's an Australian thing more. Because like the English going to Australia, I think it's prisoner of Her Majesty, and they've shortened it to pom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a derogatory term to be for a
English person.
Yeah, I think it's what I think it's big in the cricket or something like that, isn't it? Like England and Australia have a big cricket rivalry. They love all that kind of. Yeah. You poms. I don't know how cricket. I don't know how cricket people speak, but it was something like that. So you're called Haggis. Was that because you're Scottish, or because you've got really short legs?
No. That was something to do with it. Like,
it's quite affectionate though.
Yeah.
And was there other boys like from Scotland over there at the time, or
there would have been, not where I was.
Not with you.
Not where I was. I seem to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Great way to see things, though. Experience it.
Yes. So we tailed lambs and then we dagged ewes, but we never got to shear.
Right.
I went on a back-to-back shearing course.
Okay.
So
what's that?
Well, how it worked was, so you pay for 4 days. We shore for the 4 days, but on day 3, the shed was so frozen that the sheep were in the shed, everything was soaking, so they put the sheep outside and then it rained.
Okay.
We said, what we're going to do now? So we done a bit of gear and then we just went to the pub and the rest was history. But we shore the next day and then there was 200 or 300 left. And I said, well, I've got nothing to do. I'll give you a hand. I'll fill the pens or do whatever. And the instructor said, no, if you stay on the end stand, we'll let you shear and we'll let you come back the following week for nothing.
Oh, brilliant.
So I stayed with one of the instructors over the weekend, a lad called Monty. Don't know how we managed to drive down, I must admit. We stopped at every single pub from Otago to Invercargill.
Oh, jeez.
Until we got there.
Brilliant.
And we eventually got there. And then the New Zealand-Australia game was on. So we watched that in another pub. So for the whole weekend, we were just on the
pushed.
Aye, oh jeez, brilliant. They were good, excellent.
Crystalyx Extra High Energy Feed Blocks have been providing high energy supplementation to ewes, lambs and rams in the UK since 1978. Packed full of protein, vitamins, minerals, and trace elements, Crystalyx Extra High Energy has been proven to increase live lamb numbers and improve lamb daily live weight gain at a cost of only 4 to 7 pence per ewe per day. To view the full Crystalyx range and find your nearest stockist, visit crystalyx-global.com.
And is shearing something you would say you kind of have a natural ability to? Like, are there some people who are naturally talented in
Yes.
it? Is it?
Aye.
Okay.
I am not naturally talented.
Are you not?
No.
I wasn't sure what you're saying yesterday, whether you're going, I was like, he's quite cocky here. He's like, aye, naturally.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Right, okay.
Right, I'm just a shearer. To be honest, when I come home from New Zealand, a lad called Campbell Mackenzie phoned me up, and I ended up shearing with him. He says, "Oh, you've just been to New Zealand, you'll be able to shear sheep." So I went, "Yes, of course." But I didn't
Take the opportunity.
Take the
Fake it till
opportunity.
you make it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how many I could do,
Okay.
right? Because I'd never shorn on a trailer or done anything like that, and I shored 200 my first day.
Wow.
So I thought, okay,
You're doing fine.
That's impressive.
Did you
isn't
beat
it?
him?
no,
No, right.
and I've still never beat him.
Is that right?
Aye, even yet, you know. And I remember that first day, I had 99 by lunchtime.
Right.
This old man, Jack Norman, we were sharing that. He was pushing the sheep. Well, he's in the back pen. It was his sheep. And my now father-in-law, Peter Hutton, was pushing the sheep up. And he says, "Go on, Jack, give him another sheep. Get his 100 before lunch." And he says, "Nope, should have went faster." So I've always remembered that as well, you know.
I like that. I remember the time I was on for my first 300, and we got to the last run, and the two boys I was shearing with was James Andrew, who you know very well, and I'm sure it was Big Blair Duffy, who's a Kiwi fella, and they both seen, and shearing's like a brutal,
Yeah.
everybody's brutal in it,
Yeah.
so they realised I was on for my 300 and went like hell.
Yep.
To the point where, and this is how
What was that for? Like to egg you on to keep
Yeah,
going?
No, to stop me
just
getting
to
it.
stop me getting it.
to stop me getting
Oh,
it.
right,
So
okay.
they went like hell this last run, and I'm on for it. And I got to the end, and I'm sure I was on something like I was on 294, and there was 6 sheep left. And James went, "Oh, you'll maybe get it or something. You might get it next year." Took a sheep right away, he went. And I thought, do you know, and I felt if he'd just let me shear the last 6 to get my 300, it wouldn't have been right. I thought,
No.
do you know, fair enough. At the time, I was a bit on reflection, I'm like, do you know, I like that he made it hard for me.
Fair play.
Because maybe next year. He went,
You know, Blair Duffy, I stayed with him when I was in New Zealand.
"Oh, that's because you knew, because Hannah."
And there's a connection there, yeah.
Yeah. Blair will listen to this. He's a good lad. He's a police officer. He's a police sergeant.
Yeah, he took us for a wee tour and stuff. Got to see in the police, the custody bit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
It was pretty laid back over there. Queenstown.
Yeah, so laid back.
You've been
Queenstown,
to,
yeah.
been to Queenstown?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Aye,
everybody
no,
talks
it's,
about it.
It's unreal.
It's good. Aye. Laurie and Shan had a house out there. Still do, actually.
It's just like a holiday home.
A holiday home. Yeah.
It's big touristy. It's proper touristy. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they always had a home out there. Their family did. So. it's,
okay, yeah.
And
Before it was popular.
before it was popular.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
So,
yeah.
I don't know whether that's the best place or not, but everybody goes there.
Well, that's probably bad.
You know.
If you really want to experience it, you do what you do, and you go and mark 25,000 lambs,
Yeah.
and you really meet the folk and
Yeah, real
the
folk.
local pubs, and
you-
that's always the best crack, rather than the touristy bits.
Yeah. That's right.
There'll be a lot of palms in Queenstown.
A lot of pubs.
I don't think it's offensive. I think you're
That's
allowed to
not
say it.
offensive,
No, it's not.
no.
It's
It's
just hearing the word prisoner makes me think
No.
it's not okay, but
No, it's not offensive. I don't
Well, it's
think.
called haggis for years. Still.
Ah,
I
exactly.
know, haggis is nice, so I think there's some, like, it's like a,
Affectionate.
Yeah.
But you don't think palms?
no, pom.
I don't think it's
I wouldn't want
offensive.
to be a pom.
It's cricket banter. It can't be offensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're so right.
So, yeah, you started shearing there, got your 200. How did you fall into being a big time shearing contractor?
So I shore with Campbell for 6 years. Went to England for 5 seasons. People were saying to me, "You should have a go." So got a trailer built and made a go of it, and that was in 99. Just worked myself. So
It's a single stand or two stand, but you just worked yourself?
aye, I had a single stand, yes, and I worked away, and then I got a 2 stand and nearly killed myself as many times. I sweat a lot. A lot. So I've nearly died.
It does.
Aye.
I do too, to be fair. I do too.
So I've nearly died 10 times.
What, from loss of
Dehydration.
water? Yeah.
And back
Have you
then,
collapsed like or?
yeah, I was close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even, when I was with Campbell and things. to the extent where, you know, you get a pint of salt water. If you're, it's not nice.
No.
Um,
I use those Dioralites, sure. Those.
right, so
You use them now, do you?
Yeah,
not?
I do.
Oh, you
Aye,
use the
so they-
orbs.
so the vet brought me around once. So I was that bad.
Is that right?
I can't remember driving home, and the vet happened to be at the house, and it's like delirious. Whatever. I was an hour off the hospital, and he went to the back of the van and got the horse Dioralites.
Yeah.
You know,
Aye, the electrolytes for the calves or the foals.
Aye, well, it's
aye.
for the foals, aye. And he just mixed it up in a pint. And it had lumps and everything in it, like, it's like, get that down you, and I'm like, what is it? You know?
Aye.
So that type of thing.
Right, okay.
So I was on them for 3 days. But we were back out shearing the next day, because that's what you do. You don't stop. You know, the sheep are in for
Yeah.
the next day, you just keep going.
And I bet as well when you're shearing, you don't want to, like I can imagine when you're hot and sweaty, the last thing you want is like feeling like if you're drinking, feeling like a full like
No, I don't, it's hard to explain. It's like the most enjoyable thing you can do is have a drink of juice or water.
Yeah.
is it just that you don't stop
No,
to do
the
it?
problem, no, well, it's a combination. Is like I take the Dioralites.
That's what I'm on now. I'm
Aye.
on the tablet, salt tablets, basically.
Aye.
SIS, I don't know whether you mentioned names.
Use
but-
SIS. I have seen use SIS, which is a good one. I use Dioralite because it's, well, to me, it's a bit more. Yours are tastier, right enough, but mine's is Dioralite's really salty.
Right.
And like when you need it, it's a weirdest thing. See if I was to have a drink of it now, I'd be like, that's disgusting. But see when I'm shearing and I drink it, it's the best thing ever. It's like your body is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
needing it.
telling
It's
you
Your
craving
body's
it.
telling you.
yeah,
And
aye.
it's like, and you drink it like, oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because the danger you get, and a lot of shearers fall into it, is they don't take the salts and they guts water all day.
Yeah, your body won't absorb it.
And then, Stuart Heads, who, I don't know if you heard this or not, but I was shearing at him one day, and it was, I just went myself, big strong sheep, and it was baking hot, and I didn't have my salts, sweat, I'm a bad sweater too, terrible sweater, sweat's lashing off, I'm gutsing water, and I'm starting to get away, it's like, I feel like I'm getting, like, the heat's a bit much here, I might pass out, but I keep gutsing the water, which is a dangerous thing. As soon as we stopped, got them finished, and Stuart's talking to me, and I went, sorry, mate, there's Stuart. Projectile vomit, all this water up in gutsing because your body's just like,
Yeah,
I've just
yeah.
guts and guts because that's not what I needed. It's the salts.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a brutal business, isn't it?
It is,
It's good.
It's just, it is
I
the
love
best.
it. I love it.
Do you love
I
it?
still love it.
Aye.
You
Really?
know, I still love the industry we're in.
Right.
You know, I think we're such a small family shearing.
Absolutely.
You know, worldwide, we are just a family business. You know, and we all look after each other as best we can.
Aye.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we destroy each other.
And
right
I'm
now. Like
gonna
if
say-
if you collapse in the board, the fun.
Aye.
I mean, they'll check you and they'll swallow your tongue, then they'll just laugh at you.
Yeah.
Aye. They'll just keep shearing. Like, roll him the cover.
Aye,
Mate,
but-
flick his tongue at his mouth, will you, and just roll him off the board.
I feel like it's like it highlights like the
you're all right
sheep-
in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Okay, he always does this.
It's like that.
Just want attention, don't bother.
That like Scottish humour of how like people from other countries think we're so harsh, like the way we speak to each other. Where they feel
Yeah.
like shearing is like another level of
Oh, it's-
Scottish
it's-
humour.
It is another level.
Ruthless, man.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Yep.
It is shocking.
Have you cut yourself? Do you want a Mr. Bump?
Right, okay, aye, there's aye.
Get the plasters out.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It is funny actually because it is that kind of. I thought of this analogy the other day actually when I was talking to somebody about it. It's like shearing's kind of like the rugby of the farming world, where it's like you can't ever show weakness or like no matter how hard you get hurt or that, you've got to like laugh it off and be like, nah, it's fine, or blood's coming for a cut or whatever. You're just but a scratch, it's nothing. And it's kind of like that's the way folks see rugby. It's like you've got if you show weakness in the pitch, the other team laugh at you because you're like, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like that, but it's usually a mate's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll know him. So Richie Robinson, he started with us when he was 19, I think. Right, and we were on a job in Lanarkshire, and I cut my hand open, right. And it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and Richie was a junior. And I had my first Kiwi shearer, who was Mike Renner. So what do? I just went to the motor, got a lambing glove, pulled it on, and strapped it up, because we had to shear all these sheep. And I'd said to the farmer, I says, is there a doctor, hospital or whatever about? And he says, there's one just up the road. So he phoned ahead, just send them up.
Yeah, okay.
But that was at 10 o'clock in the morning. I thought, well, there's all these sheep to do. So we just waited. So we shore all these sheep, and we went up at 3:45, just before it closed. And the nurse just gave me a bollocking.
Yeah,
This happened at 10 o'clock, not now. The doctor's away, you know. And I'm like, all right, okay. My glove is
my
full.
I'm full of blood.
Right. So I was like,
Can I donate that glove?
can we go to the hospital then? So I went to go to the hospital. But they didn't do anything.
Oh, did
I
they
did
not?
mean as well, you could see the tendon and that, like, you know. But
Did they, did they not stitch it?
no, because they couldn't, because the way it was cut with the comb,
Right,
it had shredded it.
right.
So they
Did
just,
they just
sort of-
glue it or something, or just...
well, no, they didn't really have glue back, you know. So they just
Bandaged
put
it up.
steri strips on it. That'll do you. We're back at shearing the next day, obviously. But that's what you do, eh?
I did one.
That's what you
That's
guys
what-
do.
No, but that is what you do.
I did one like that at Allhouse Burn next door to you one day.
Oh,
One of
did
his
you?
big recipient use kicked me off. So as I let it go, I'm holding a handpiece here, and as it's going to come off the thing, it's like a beach whale. It's kicking sideways. It kind of gets, because it's massive. They're 120 kilos, and it kicked my legs and took me away. And I don't know how the hell I did it, but I swung the handpiece and it went right in. Thankfully, it wasn't on. Went right into, it's all kind of scarred there. You can see right into my hand there. As soon as I done it, you're like, oh. I was like, aye, that was a deep one.
That's so.
And it's like, oh, aye, blood's pushing. But then I was with James and Archie.
Oh, aye.
And we'd only just started.
They'll be sympathetic, though.
Exactly.
That, you know.
A big Archie Patterson talked about James Andrew. And of course, you get so pair of boxers I had in the motor, wrapped round, duct tape. And as the day went on, it got worse and worse to the point my hand was no use. And Alan's mum, Shirley, took it, bandaged it up for me. We got the day finished, ended up in overnight in hospital, had to get knocked out and cleaned out. And
Did you?
actually, it'd been right into the bone, and they're worried about dirt getting in. And took the next day off, just got a slagging for it. But
Oh, go.
James, his wee violins. Oh.
Just showed weakness.
It
Showed
is.
weakness.
It is. But I love that brutality of it. Like, I love that brutality of it. It's so good.
Aye.
But so you started contracting your own trailer.
Started contracting.
What
yeah.
was, how much was it to shear a sheep back in those days? What was the money?
I was getting 30 pence when I was working for my contractor.
Okay.
So my first 300, I got 90 quid. 90 quid. Proceeded, it went to the Fintry Inn, I must admit.
Aye, all the money made, you spent it
just,
in drink.
just went there, to be honest. Aye. We were getting about 70 or 80 pence back then. Like, as in to shear a sheep.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
So
And you're only getting 30?
I get 30, yep. That was
No,
one of the reasons
no
why I
wonder you
did-
wanted to go yourself.
Yeah.
So, but hey, you learn.
Oh, it's not just
You
about
know
the
what I
money.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, everyone's a learning curve, you know. Whereas now everybody wants to start off with a big wage, you know, as opposed to getting experience.
But I always find quite often with like the I mean, not everybody, well, a lot of the top boys, you know, it's not about the money. It's about, you know, where you're going, how many sheep you're getting, who you're shearing with, you know, who you're beating every day.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about. They're no, I know I mentioned Archie a few times in this, but he obviously did that great video he did where he's talking about being a shearer, and one thing he says it, like, I couldn't care less how much I get paid.
Right.
As long as I beat the man next to me.
Yeah.
And that is the shearer mentality.
100%.
Yeah.
For the top guys anyway, but
Yeah.
some people it's just just chip away
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's like beat that man next to you. Well, you know what it's like with your boys. You have
Oh no.
even at the market. We're talking about that as you come in there, the crutching at the market.
As I say, I was never a great shearer, so I shore. It was the only time I ever advertised was when Mike started with us, and from there we went from 7,000 to 17 overnight.
Okay.
We were that for a few years, and then we got offered another run. We took on Jock Little, amazing shearer, to be honest.
You know, aye, it's hard to give
Just-
him compliments, but it's good. I just hate giving him a compliment.
Aye,
Many people in Scotland will know him.
He's
Certainly up
brutal.
that. Everybody up that way
he's
will know him.
just such a machine.
Right.
He is. He's you can't. You couldn't put it into words. He's not a show shearer.
I was
He's
going
a
to
shed
ask,
shearer.
does he compete?
And I've had many good shearers through my doors, and they all, I can do this, I can do that. When you pick them up, no bother. So few days later, they have a day with Jock and they come home with their tails between their legs.
Okay.
Who's
Yeah.
that guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing, because Jock doesn't really do the shows. Nobody ever, outside of the bubble of Stirling, nobody really know Jock.
No.
Yeah.
In terms of his shearing, but aye.
Yeah. So Jock has been with us 20 seasons.
Wow.
So been with us pretty much the whole time. So then, and we just sort of spiraled, and now it's moved beyond spiral. Like,
Well,
you
how
know.
many sheep do you shear now in the summer?
By its peak there, we were over 120. So I think we're back to the
Serious?
110.
Yeah.
120,000
Yeah.
sheep. That's mad.
Um,
And how many shearers are you employing?
there's 5 trailers go out every day in the summer,
Right. Okay.
some direction. We do try and take weekends off if we can. Can't always do that. I like the shearers to go to shows because I'll be honest, if we don't let them go to shows, there'll be no shows.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
So I do encourage it, but
Yeah.
as long as I know,
Yeah.
that's all I ask.
Yep.
And they're very good.
Are they?
Yeah, of course, they're
It's
brilliant.
that mutual respect, isn't it?
They're brilliant.
You've got quite a good homegrown team, eh?
We try. Yeah. They're all good. They're just,
Well, they're not all good.
okay. I'm not good.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But I
Cheers,
mean,
Cammy, thank you.
The local ones are good, of course, but like you must have had some absolute horrors. Like, tell me some stories. Who have you had? Don't tell me names.
Actually, I'll be honest, we haven't.
No.
No, we've been so lucky over the years.
See, you've not had some guy phone from New Zealand say, "Oh, hey, Doug, good day, mate."
Everybody's been recommended.
So it's all
Right.
So we're such a family-orientated concern,
Yeah,
group of people. So my wife, Mary, who the whole business couldn't run without Mary.
Right.
Everybody needs a Mary, as far as I'm concerned.
Does she make the plans? Does she decide where everybody's going,
No,
or
I
what?
do
Or
that.
just you do that part of
I
it?
do that, yeah.
Does she do the invoicing and
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. But she does help me now because we are a lot bigger than
I
we
was
were.
going to say the logistics of that must be mental.
The phone never stops.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, other types of business, the phone never stops, But shearing time's something different. I remember one time there was like 100 calls one day. That's how there's a certain point within the shearing season that I can't shear. I'm a sort of spare person, spare man.
Okay.
So if somebody's needing a shearer, I'll go and shear.
Yeah.
But there's always, because there's so many, there's always somebody off.
Yeah. There's always somebody to
got
cover.
to shear.
Yeah.
But you need to answer the phone as well.
Which does upset some farmers, I'm sure. And our customers are brilliant. I have got a really good core customer base.
Again, that stems from having a good team of boys and girls going out,
Yeah.
to do the job. Like, I can absolutely believe that. That would be the case. That's one thing I just hated about I thought, I'm going to be a big contractor and do all this and that. But, like, see, try to deal with the farmers and organise and keep everybody happy and even keeping the shearers happy.
Yeah.
Is a bloody
it's a
nightmare
lot.
too. Like,
I couldn't take over 120,000 now. Like,
oh, you mean
I've done it from zero.
Yeah.
I've went from 0 to 120. Sort
Yeah.
of,
Yeah. Yeah.
major mistakes? Tell us about some mistakes. What have you done?
Well, you do
What's
forget
bad
about
ones?
some people sometimes. You know what?
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah.
Book
Book folk in and forget all about it.
Where's the shearers?
Yeah. They're just coming. They've been held up.
They've been held up.
There's always
Traffic.
some. Aye.
Traffic.
Oh, we've had
You'll
to-
no believe what happened this morning.
Aye, a wheel ripped off the trailer. It's in the workshop the now. They'll be with you immediately.
Yeah.
Duke turns up with his single stand. 5 minute shoot to do.
Get the pressure washer out and get a clean.
If I collapse, just get me some of those electrolytes.
Aye,
That's all I need.
You mentioned at the beginning as well about the female shearers. So do you have quite a few?
4 female shearers. They're brilliant. Ailey Little being one of them.
Oh, yeah.
She used to help us at the market, bringing the sheep round.
Right.
And in the last hour, I used to shout her over, jump on my stand. And
Right.
she would be running up the passageway.
Really?
Jump. This is just what she wanted to do.
She's class.
I've always liked to give folk a start because I got a start myself. So we're hoping to have 2 juniors this year again because my last junior there been with us. He's now doing 200 a day, so you can't count him as a junior.
This Richie you're talking about.
He's rich here. And then Kirsty, I got a phone call one day looking for some combs because she
Right.
was going to a shearing course down the borders. I says, no problem, just send her up. And she came from Killearn. And I was like, somebody from Killearn wants to shear sheep. Excellent. You know, it's 5 minutes along the road. Can't let this go.
Yeah.
See, when you finish your shearing course, give me a call. So now she's travelling the world.
Really?
Yeah. Doing her 400.
Amazing.
Excellent. You know, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
The opportunities with shearing are just unreal.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Like, for travelling,
Well,
like
you can go anywhere in the world to shear sheep.
Yeah.
If you can pick up a handpiece, you've got no money, go and shear sheep. Go and do some shearing.
the thing is, you can make so much serious money too because you don't have any expenses. Like very little. Like you live in wherever you are, you pay your digs, but you're working every day, so you have no time to go and waste your money as such. You know, you're just flat out, and it's good money.
I still don't think it's enough.
No, it's too cheap.
You know,
It really is. We do charge too little. I think we do. See, you look at like what I'm charging for scanning, like compared to how many sheep you can scan a day to what you can make
what
shearing.
you can shear.
It's far too cheap.
But it is what it is. You know,
Do you know,
wool's at the price it is, and I don't think it's going to change much.
I just don't think that should be a factor in the price of shearing.
Well, I think we've,
Do you know, the
we've
problem is
said
we're
that.
all farmers. That's the problem with shearing pricing. We're all farmers.
Yeah.
If we were folk for the town coming to charge a farmer for what you're doing shearing sheep, it'd be twice the price.
Yeah.
But it's because we're farmers and we know how hard it is and how expensive everything is. You don't charge
What
No,
you should
I
charge.
what you should
totally
charge.
agree.
It costs the same to put click on a ewe as it does to shear it. Is that no mental?
That is mental. Yeah.
So a farmer will pay to click out his ewe, it'll cost them 150, 160, and it's much the same to shear it.
Yeah,
Is that
that
not
is
mental?
So you've thrown 150 on the yow,
Aye.
and you've gone, I missed a bit. We'll
Another
put
wee
some
bit.
more on.
There's 180. Aye. Oh, she jumped. There's 40 pence on the ground.
Or you do.
but shearing's too dear at 160, 170.
Because I think you made the point before though, but it's because it's people compare it to what they're making for their wool. So it shouldn't be a comparison.
No, it's not.
What you're making, like that
Yeah,
wool, like
no.
you've said before, it has to come off anyway.
Well, it's the best thing you can do for your sheep.
Yeah. So it's-
Bar perhaps a fluke dose is the best thing
Yeah.
you can do for your sheep.
So I don't think
welfare
it's fair to
purposes, yes.
compare the cost you pay to get it off to what you receive for
But
it.
even better with the click, there's no return or for what you do with the shearing. At least you can sell,
Yeah, you get
sell the
something.
wool.
Yeah.
And if you've got chiefies, it's quite a good return. Speaking of sheep, though, do you have any? What is your farming enterprise? What do you do the rest of the year? Just
Just
go on holiday to New Zealand.
aye, that's
You're just
it,
back
just-
from a trip to New Zealand, and
We've actually just lost all our farm now.
how'd that happen?
My landlord's died.
Selfish.
So what was the setup?
Not you're selfish, sorry. They're selfish dying. That's what I meant. Sorry, not you.
So I'd worked for them a way back in night.
I don't know what's worse. You calling him selfish?
No, I wasn't
or
calling
the
Dig
dead?
selfish,
I don't know what's
sorry.
worse.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
That's why I'm laughing.
It's a joke.
I love it. You know what I mean? So I started working for them in '96, just helping out. And then one very wet day in the Fank, under this big tree, it's pissing the rain. He says, "Oh, I've had enough of this, Doug." And they'd no family. And I says, "Well, rent me the farm." So he says, "Right, okay." So I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Wow.
300 acres, or 378 acres actually. So we ended up having the farm 2006, the year the kids were born,
Right.
the twins.
Oh, you got twins.
So we've got twin boys, James and Douglas.
Right.
They were 8 weeks early.
Right.
I've got my dad telling me to take the farm. I've got Fergie telling me to take the farm. And I've 2 kids that we have to see every day
Oh, jeez.
in the hospital.
Of course, because I've been
Yeah, yeah.
tub at incubator
Yeah,
thing.
so
In the
torn.
incubator
Yeah.
for 8 weeks, you see. It was tough, real tough.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was middle of shearing time because it was 16th of June.
Even worse.
And the shearers then were brilliant. It's, 100%. I said to Mary about this story. So we went to see the kids every day. And we said to them we couldn't come at regular times. So it would be, it could be 9 o'clock at night,
Yep.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you go when you
Either
could.
before work, after work. So I was on this farm and I said to the farmer, and he had a wee campsite. I says, look, any chance of a shower? I ain't bothered, the guy. Just, you'll get a shower. Just put 50p in the meter. I said, I ain't bothered. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just getting my stuff and I'm heading round. And the farmer came out, he says, it's okay, Doug. You don't need to put 50p in the meter. It works just when you turn it on, but I didn't want to tell the worker that.
That's brilliant. So what, he's going to set up so folk think it's a meter.
It's a
But
meter.
it's not.
You just turn the dial, like, come on.
Do you know
Genius.
sometimes I look at these things like the air operated, all these things, like, and how the technology to set it up that it knows when the money's went in and blah, blah, blah. That's a simple way to do it. Just make folk think you need to pay for it. Brilliant. Put a wee timer on it, even better.
Yeah.
I know.
2 minutes.
I know. So,
There you go. So
That's so
So that was it. So we would go and see the kids at whatever time of the day. Anyway, so eventually we did take the farm. So we took the chance, and we were there for 18 years. So
right.
and that was, were you just in a rolling 5-year thing?
5-year rolling.
Yeah,
Aye.
okay.
So we had no sub for 9 years.
Right, the first 9 years I take
First
it.
9 years with no sub. It would have cost me another 20,000
I had to buy
to buy the sub, and I'd already spent all my money. It's great. Every shearer wants to be a farmer. Okay, which is fantastic. I still want to farm. I still want to farm, but there's no farms. You know.
Yeah.
Our ground is so expensive that you can't get into it.
But that's the reality, absolutely.
You know?
And to be fair, shearers are an advantage to many in terms of, yes, making good money, but also hearing a lot of good gossip is one good thing about shearing. You know, when you're in all these different farms,
Yeah.
like you're talking about 100 calls there now, you're not taking a full 100 calls in a day.
No.
But you're speaking to so many folk. You hear all the gossip, you know, and it's a great...
What, like ground coming up or
Yeah.
And a lot of occasions, it's the first man to get there
Gets
it.
Gets a chance. Aye.
So the quicker you hear about it,
better.
the better.
And you can't think about it. You've just got to do it.
Yeah.
You know. I'll go home and think about that.
Oh no,
It's gone.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's gone. Somebody else has got it.
100%. I was a bit scanning the day actually, and the boy was telling me, we're talking about breeding sheep that sold recently. Some of the locals, this will give it away, but he floated them into the market and he picked them up for a bit of grazing. The boy's got a bit of winter and a good bit of Ayrshire. And he said, he's putting the breeding sheep out. I says, he says, I says, he was telling me this story, and I says, is that right? Right. And I'm thinking, I'm going to phone that boy, see what he's doing with that bit of grunt. And before I could, he goes, I tell him if that's the case, then I'll take that bit of grunt. I was already making a wee plan in my head. I was going to phone as soon as I got in the drive. I was like, here. But he's like, I'm like, you'll beat me to it. You'll beat me to it. And that's what it's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You just say, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You've just got to take the opportunity when it arises.
Is it a competitive area where you are still in near Finch? Is
Is
it competitive? It's big sheep country, eh?
There's a few sheep. There's not as many sheep now.
What is it mostly up there? Like arable or what's the big
There's
thing
a few
up there?
dairies.
Okay.
Still a few dairies in our area. And just a bit of everything. Beef and arable. And but
What will ground be an acre up there? Like good grazing ground, permanent
4.
pasture?
4 to 5. Well, there was ground just sold there at the moment. I think it went for about 6.
Okay.
Like just your average rolling ground.
All right, it's not.
You could
It's
plough it.
ploughable, but
ploughable,
it's
yeah.
okay.
There's
You're probably not too
quite a bit of
different
forestry
from
going
Ayrshire.
on as well.
Is that
That's
still
one thing
happening?
with the shearing business. Is after this year's season, I think we're going to be 15,000 down in the last 3 seasons.
Really?
Just through trees.
Yeah. That's easing up right enough. For anyone that this lay of the land in Scotland at the moment is they were up until recently. I think they've fair cut the budget back, and also they're not working with the Greens so much now, but they're big on buying up farms to plant trees. Like, it's crazy. We've spoken about it in this podcast before.
Yeah. But
Good
it's not-
farms. I don't mind rough hill bits. 100%. Crack on, do what you like, but it's the good farms. Like,
Some of the invoices we put out go to London.
right?
So it's these companies that are owning the ground.
Yeah, like investment companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And and they've just got somebody contract shepherding it or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Like, there's a lot.
So, I mean, for us, your genuine farmer that wants to farm, he's got a lot to
Yeah.
do to buy it.
Oh, the buying
rent
it.
it.
We've spoke about this. Like the amount, like how good your books have to be, even just to get approved for the loan, and then how much money you need to put up front just to buy. Essentially, in most cases, a bit that's not even viable.
Yep.
You know, it's hard to actually, unless you've got a good going business already going, and a heap of ground and stuff already paid off. It's hard to justify even at 6,000 an acre.
Yeah, aye.
How you make that pay?
It's a long-term investment,
It is.
no matter what, you know.
But you can only make long-term investments if you have a good short-term situation, as in you've got something paid off or you're making good money.
Yeah, aye, you've got to be able to pay your bills.
Aye. And buying that thinking that will make your money to pay your bills, it's not going to happen. Like you need to already be pretty comfortable to do a thing like that. And where do you what happened then? Did
So
you
in
sell it?
Lennoxtown, as I say, my landlords both died within 3 months of each other.
Jeez.
So it got left to a nephew on either side. So one of the nephews decided to put the rent up 46%. And I says, nah, you're all right, mate. Do you want? But anyway, I was only out 10 days and they put the land on the market. So he sold over 200 acre of it
Okay.
to trees.
Good ground.
It was all good ground as far as I was concerned. It was great. Aye, yep. It would all be ploughable at one point in time, you know.
Was there steading with it too?
No
steading, just the ground?
aye. So he's kept about 90 acre round the farm. And then below the road is Jeanette's nephew, and he's taken that back in hand now.
Right.
Because that'll double the size of his farm.
Right.
Yeah.
So him and his wife are going to farm it. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Aye.
That's good,
Absolutely.
you know. So
And see behind it, sorry, I see behind it because I'm always, who's behind the rent increase? Was this a land agent?
probably.
Because it's getting the balance of,
It's not helping anybody but the land agent.
well, that's it. They got a bigger
Yeah.
cut because they're obviously on a percentage basis is one factor. I mean, you does it help the landlord? Probably not really, because the more squeezed you are, the less you can spend looking after the place and on the place.
Yeah.
Like the more you have to hammer the place to make it work, it's
So we had 700 ewes, 750 ewes, kept all our own replacements, and we farmed differently. We pretty much eradicated foot rot. If it had bad feet,
okay.
like when you turned it at 2 feet,
Yeah.
it got the lugs taken out with the ear notchers. That was something I learned in New Zealand. You take the ear, it tips out the end of the ears. There's no missing.
Yeah.
It comes up the shedder, you see it. When you take the ears out of them, by the time it's ready to be sold, it's looking great. So you go, oh, I could keep that.
Yeah.
But because the ears are out, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then we started using foot vacs on the ewe hogs, going to wintering, and the gimmers a month before tipping, and nothing else.
Yeah.
So they only get one injection. And we've only done that last 6-7 years, but that's worked really well.
Yeah, it's difficult sending sheep to. I find as well if you're sending them to dairy ground and stuff, things like slurry and all that have such an impact
Yeah.
on their feet. Like I find it's terrible. What's your dad's hogs like at winter? Do you bother with feet?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Aye, like because plus I think also maybe going onto really good grass, they maybe grow a bit too quick.
Aye, no, growing on. Yep.
Aye, they get heavier.
They're getting heavier, but also maybe their toes are actually growing fast. You know, their nails, everything about them
Yep.
thriving and pushing on, and it's maybe just knocks them off a wee bit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
With that kind of stuff and slurry. I think
It worked.
it's
It
terrible.
worked. It worked for me anyway, for what I was doing. And I always say every farm's different.
And when you get told you're losing this bit, you just had to sell the whole lot.
I've still got 200 ewes at the moment.
Okay.
My father's left me a bit of ground, and it was just it's quite a wet bit of ground, so I'll not actually carry 200 ewes. So we are looking for a bit at the moment, but we built a shed, and we're going to lamb in the shed.
Right.
Probably sell about half of them with a lamb at foot.
Good turn in that.
Well, they're not worth much in lamb, but they're worth a
A
bit.
lot with a lamb
Yeah.
at foot. Yeah,
A lot more.
Is this shed you built? Is this on the ground that your dad's left you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the plan build a shed then get planned to build a house?
No.
Okay.
No,
Because I know that some people sometimes do.
Everybody
build a
said
shed.
that to me, and I haven't even thought about it.
Right. You don't lie to me, but lie to the cameras.
No, I
Eh,
haven't.
But in that, I'm sure that is a thing. It's like you can build a shed first, then you can say you need like a shepherd's cottage.
Yeah,
and
that's
then it's
what-
easier,
Oh,
to, get,
really?
it's easier to get planning permission after
But you
you've
need
got the shed.
another 150,000 to build a house.
That's true. It's the
Probably
money.
more.
It's the
Probably
money.
more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How big a house will you get for 150?
Aye. Good point. The shed probably cost about that. I don't know.
Yeah, aye.
I'm just thinking about the farming thing and how you end up down this road. But how did the succession work of a dairy farm? Was it just a case of is this land part of this sort of split of the farm?
Yeah, aye, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. My father owned it and just he'd left it to me as well.
But you get the winter. Do you winter on your brother's bit?
I do, yeah. So I buy in lambs. So we buy about 1,200 lambs a year.
Right. Wow.
I think you just tick them and then just pay them back when they go in.
I pay what I can,
Aye.
like anybody else.
Yeah, but it's a great thing that for the sole lamb job is the market tick. I love
is.
market tick. I talk
It
about it all
is.
the
You
time.
really do.
I love market tick. I wouldn't be where I am today without market tick.
Markets are brilliant.
Yeah.
If they're willing to invest in you,
Yeah.
we'll invest in them. And
Well, they're guaranteed the lambs back. That's the great thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, because
Yeah.
that's the deal.
A
It's
kind
like
of number as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll loan you the money to buy them, and
bring them
but
back
you
to us.
have to sell them back through here, so they get the double bite. They'll get the interest off you, plus they'll get the bite of the.
Yeah. It works both ways.
sometimes they get more than us.
mostly they'll get a better margin. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, and you sell them at that Martimus sale.
That's where I sell them at. So I buy them all September, October time, and we aim for the Martimus sale. I throw feeding at them as soon as I get them,
Or do you?
even though they're on grass forevermore.
Okay, and you put hoppers out,
Put hoppers out.
and that doesn't
So
poach you
whatever
up.
eats
That
them.
doesn't upset your brother poaching things up.
Well, he's got cattle out in certain areas, and certain bits he hasn't got cattle out.
So you
So
stick
the
the
bits he
hoppers with
hasn't
the
got,
cattle.
yeah.
Okay.
Most foragers don't supply sheep and cattle with enough cobalt, copper, iodine and selenium, critical to digestion, immunity, reproduction and growth. When it comes to supplementation, there's a danger of under or oversupply. But when bolusing with Animax Tracesure, you can be sure every animal has enough for up to 6 months in one single application. Animax, giving what it takes.
But it's all a big gamble, isn't it? And I love the gamble. We all love the gamble.
The store lamb thing absolutely is.
Yeah, no.
Although it hasn't been the last few years, it's been such a safe bloody bet. It seems, but they're getting so expensive,
It's scary stuff.
especially
You know.
1,200. Aye, it's serious scary.
stuff. Aye. Mary wouldn't do it.
Aye,
She just,
hell it. Does
like,
does
oh my God, what have you bought today?
Aye, terrifying. Does the shearing contractor make money?
Yes.
It does.
I'm not going to deny it.
No, that's fine.
Of course it does. I do shear myself. I still shear. I don't shear that many. 5,000, somewhere in about there.
Yeah.
But I was told once that's the only way to make money is still shear. And in some ways,
Yeah.
that's true.
But I
'Cause
mean,
I've got 5 or 6 trucks
are they
going
all
out
yours?
every day,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're all mine.
Aye.
So if I
So you have to
I
keep.
never
the-
buy a new truck. Right? I don't think I've ever bought a new truck.
No, you wouldn't
I've
give.
always buy a second-hand truck.
You wouldn't give a new truck to one of they boys. How about that?
So, but if I bought a new air truck, I'll run it. And then when I'm ready to buy a new air truck, I keep that truck.
Right. Okay.
That's what I've done.
But you need to run 5 trucks all year.
Yeah, I've got them sitting.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's money in it. There must be, but I just think
There's not much, like, to have all them insured. The trailers, I've got 7 or 8 trailers. I've always got spares. I've got spares at everything because you need them.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to go wrong.
Aye. That's your asset. Are your boys going to farm? Yeah, I know they're quite young yet, but well, they're not that young now.
They're 18.
Aye.
James is at music college, and he's a rapper.
Okay.
Yep,
Like Eminem.
Eminem.
Yep. I've
Yep,
told me this.
not
He did a
like
big
Eminem.
gig. He did a big gig thing,
Yep,
didn't he?
he's- No,
Aye,
he's
aye.
doing gigs. Yep. So
We should put in a clip on the YouTube.
Aye, I'll put
If
one.
he would
Put
go
one.
for
Put
it,
one up.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So
What's his rapper name?
His stage name is Kenny McGee,
Kenny McGee.
and he's
So
always
he's-
had that name.
He's called James. So where's he get that from? Where's Kenny McGee?
I don't
come
know.
from?
He's always had that. I think that was like his password for his.
Was
at
Kenny
one time.
McGee?
Yeah, it wasn't his password. Just
Aye.
can we just
Aye,
confirm
it's
that's
not.
Yeah.
right?
When
Kenny
he was
McGee.
at school, like type
Aye.
thing. You know what I mean?
Aye. I know it's just
Um,
like an alias you come up with,
Aye. So
like his PlayStation username or something.
Yeah.
Kenny McGee.
And he loves it, and he's so passionate about it.
And is he
Is
good?
he?
He's good.
Aye.
Hey, it might not be music that I would listen to.
Does he say swear words and all that?
He can do,
Okay.
but he can keep it on the right side as well. College has been brilliant for him,
Right.
as in it's brought him forward so much in the music
Wow.
industry.
But
And
he
he's
won't-
met so many of the big players
Oh,
in the
really?
music industry as well, you know?
Aye.
And he's actually got a gig coming up
Right.
in Glasgow.
Amazing.
Rapping.
Yeah.
Class. That's the
It's,
most random thing.
I
I knew he did
love
music,
that.
but I didn't realise he was a rapper. I thought he was like
That's
a
so
think
cool.
he's-
Would you go to it?
I will go to it.
Will you?
If I can go, I'll be there.
Aye,
Yeah,
aye.
yeah.
I've been to every gig.
Have
Have
you?
you?
Yeah,
Aye, good.
Do
Price
you wear a
fair.
snapback?
I do know.
Nike Airs, Maxis and all that. Yeah. Baggy jeans.
I just go on my shearing trains.
Okay. Aye. I'll be fit and fine. They're ripped
Aye,
there or
that's
ripped
right.
and torn.
Yeah.
That's the fashion.
Yeah.
A rap, right, okay.
That's
I like-
amazing.
I
I
like
love
rap music.
Do you?
Oh, do you? I like Eminem.
yeah.
Yeah. 50 Cent, like all
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
There's some of his tunes are you can listen to them no bother on Spotify.
Aye, even if you're... Oh, they're on
so he's on
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, he's on Spotify.
So Kenny McGee,
Kenny MGEE.
MCGG, or
No,
just
there's no C.
MGEE.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going to
listened
listen
to
to
him
that
on the
in a
way
minute.
home.
Aye, me too. Like,
Yeah.
I did it. Honestly, I actually thought he was a DJ. That's what I thought he did. But, right, aye, good on him.
And what about your other son?
So Douglas is at Catering College in Glasgow. So
Right.
he's 4 days a week there, learning to be master chef.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Stressful job, that.
it is.
That was about as brutal as shearing, I think. It's
Aye,
hellish.
it's- the hours of chefing
Yeah.
is not great, you know, but he loves it as well.
Does he?
You know. So he works in the clacking at Drummond on a Sunday. If he's off college, he's usually there.
I take it neither
No,
we're ever
perfect.
into shearing or any of that, really. No.
No. When we started to get a wee bit bigger, there was people in and out the house when they were young, you know. So, and they know them and they trust them, all the shearers that have been in and out.
Yep.
But it's such a mad house, you know.
No
No
you
wonder
don't,
they didn't want to be
I was
in
going to say, you don't
know.
think it encourages them, the stress and the suffering and all everything else that's involved with it. Yeah, I can understand that.
You try to keep work away from
Yes.
them, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Touch wood, I'm not too stressful a person.
No, I'll say that. Very good to work for. And obviously I've worked for Dougie, and we'll just touch. I'm very conscious of our time. We're way over there already. That's mad.
Flies
But have you got Pilates tonight?
I've cancelled it.
Did you?
Have you?
Sorry about that.
Okay, guys.
You could get the mat out on the floor and do it there.
The last 10 minutes, this will just be a demonstration of Pilates. The crutching, I'm interested. So, Doug runs the crutching at United Auctions, which is the biggest. It'll do the most fat lambs any auction mart in the UK, I would think. Long time will be pretty close, but I would think UA is the biggest. You're talking what you averaging 5.5 a week?
I never even looked at it, but I know we probably crutched 150,000 last year.
Is that right?
One day a week.
And that's just the ones that you crutch. The market sell more because some people shear their own. So that's the bellies. The crutching is shearing the bellies and round the crutch, round the tail,
Some
and all
people
that.
will ask why.
It's you tell us, Doug.
It's all for hygiene
Okay.
at the abattoir. So everything's to do with hygiene.
And who pays for that? Is that the farmer?
So the farmer pays for that.
Right. Okay. So it's just deducted from whatever he.
Yes.
Yeah, it comes off his line. Yeah,
Comes off his
But
line.
is it not a bit mental? The whole thing, like, is it needed for hygiene? I don't think they
Some
do.
of it is.
Do they do? I don't think they do it in England. I sold
Some
lambs at
places are.
Milton
yes.
Mowbray, and I don't think they did it. How do they get around that?
I don't know. Okay. Sometimes I think that we're wetter in Scotland.
True.
So you have dirtier lambs.
But then they come off broccoli.
I know.
Surely they were a mess.
Oh yeah.
You don't know. Did you see them?
No, sandy
Okay.
soils down there.
Yeah.
It could be just that.
It's what they do up here. And some lambs we come in, we've had to full shear.
Because it's so dirty.
They're so dirty.
But it's a great earner for shearers during the winter and farmers and whoever. Like it's a good
It
earner
is,
for the winter. What is it? What do the boys get now?
55.
55. Right. Okay. So 55 pence, and like you were saying, some of the boys there did 900 odd the other day. So you're 500 quid for your day.
That's not bad.
It's all right, isn't it?
Do you want a job?
Maybe. Well, maybe this is where I should do.
Wait till you've done it. You need to crutch nearly
I should
1,000 for
do
that.
a day in the market crutching, and I should do a day doing a milking.
And if you did half an hour on the market crutching,
I'll do it.
I'd be. Will you?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Have you ever held a
Right.
handpiece?
Yeah, held that. Dad had me booked to go on a shearing course, and then I broke my pinky, and it was all deformed.
Do you not come in?
I know.
How did you not shear?
I had no grip.
Well, a broken pinky.
I know, so soft. Honestly, you know how
Yeah, you need to harden up a bit.
You've got another thumb, have you not?
Aye. Yeah, you've got another pinky as well.
Unbelievable.
Oh, things.
Right, okay.
You only tape them together. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Right,
Was it your pinky or your thumb?
No, my pinky. Look
Your
at it.
pinky.
No, guys, it was bad. It was 3 places it was broken. It's never been the same again.
Hold up. Is it this one?
Yeah.
Hold up to the camera. Oh, it does look horrible.
I know, 3 places it
What
was
happened
broken
there?
in. Catching a lamb with Dad. I jumped off the bike to catch it, and it just went round funny.
Right, aye, be screaming.
No. Went round the whole run, and I just had like tears down my face. It was a really stressful. It was when Dad broke his leg right at lambing time.
Oh, so this
I
is
was
quite
having
recent.
to do everything. Aye, this was like two years ago. And then
Oh, so it's at lambing time? So it's literally a tiny wee lamb? I'm thinking like a mad blacky tup lamb or something. You mean just like a tiny wee lamb?
oh, it wasn't tiny. It was like
There's no tiny lambs at
40
Chris Flat.
kilos, you
Aye,
know
there's
what I
no
mean?
tiny lambs at Chris Flat. I mean, tiny.
Aye.
It's all right, okay.
no, it was near the end of lambing, and I can't remember. The lamb was through the fence or something, and then I went to jump off the bike to catch it, and then I just fell.
Magic. Great. So yeah, we'll get Iona into crutch.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll come and crutch.
Okay, what day do you want to come in?
When?
Any Thursday.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Okay,
We'll
I'll
get a
do
wee
it.
shot. Right.
Yeah.
Right, we'll do that.
I'll do
sometime. Okay. Okay.
I will do it.
Let's put a pin in that one now, because I just know how that will go.
I am determined when I put my mind to something, I will do it.
Yeah, cool.
I just don't want you getting hurt.
I
They'll just kick the shit out of you.
They won't.
It's,
I'll be
right,
strong.
okay.
Nah,
Be fine, be fine.
That'll be good.
We'll get Ailey
Aye.
there.
Yeah, Ailey will be there.
Yeah, I know Ailey.
Because
I know Ailey.
you're bigger than Ailey, so you can. There's no excuse. You can't
Ailey
say
will
her.
be there.
So sorry, we're talking about the crutching there before Iona said she was going to take it over. You obviously kind of organise that, but there's 10 folk in crutching, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
There's
bit
10
of
of us, 9 and a bit, probably. I'm the bit. I do try, but we're filling pens and helping. With 2 girls behind, and Mary being one of them, and my niece bringing sheep round. Because
Right.
you're constantly moving sheep.
Aye.
His niece is Louise Steele. She's on TikTok.
Right.
She does just farming stuff on the
I'd
dairy
maybe
farm and all that.
recognise it if I looked at her.
Well, and his other nephew, his nephew's Drew Steele, who's on TikTok as
How
well.
did I know that name?
He's on
Is it
TikTok.
Drew's
I knew that
Farming
name.
Life?
Drew's Farming and YouTube. Sorry, Drew's Farming Life.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Okay,
So
yeah.
and Louise is his sister.
Right.
So
Yeah.
aye, that's who pushes up.
Oh. Mary last week done over 34,000 steps.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a hellish job, the penning up, because you're just walking
She
the
loves
maze
it.
all the time.
Literally, aye.
On concrete.
She just loves it.
Does she?
She does, eh?
Yeah.
You know?
Market work isn't it for me, like that concrete all day. Like it's just,
Aye.
my fragile knees can't handle it. But how much, we're going way over now, but how much does a farmer pay for his crutching?
That I'm not sure.
I should know because I've had the line for it before, but so the farmer pays
What, you
obviously.
don't crutch your own lambs?
I do know they're all shown.
Cammy.
I thought, clever.
Aye.
Do you know, it's actually a no-brainer, this shearing store lambs. I've got another wee tangent here quickly. I know conscious
Yeah,
of
we
time,
shear
but
a lot of store lambs as well.
yeah, but it's actually a no-brainer because you shear them,
Yep.
especially if obviously you can't shear them if they're going outside, but you shear them, they're so much happier straight away. I see that they're skipping up and down like spring lambs.
Yep.
You could argue you get more in the shed, they're cleaner,
Yep.
they're not as too warm. You know, a shed can be pretty warm for a lamb that's been outside all winter, and you've also got the wool to sell.
Yeah.
And what you're paying, all right, I'm not paying for the shearing, so that makes it better. But even what they're paying you, because I imagine you shear store lambs at a reduced rate, do you? It'll be cheaper than shearing the ewes, no?
Sort of.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay, depends, right. But you know what I
They're
mean?
not easy to shear,
No, they're not. True,
Yeah.
that's
Not
true.
easy to
That's
shear.
true.
you know?
They're sore in the
They're
back,
very
they're
greasy.
sticky.
Yeah.
that's
Very
true.
greasy.
But anyway, let's say you're paying for that. But you're going to have to pay to get them crutched at the market anyway.
Yeah.
And now you've got the wool to sell, the lambs do better.
Yeah.
When you go to the market, if you crutch your own lambs when you go to the market, you don't have to, you can go and see them
Wait.
weighed straight away. I'm right in saying that?
Aye,
am I?
yeah, aye.
So you can you skip the queue
Perfect.
if you crutch your own lambs, which is a good bonus. To see.
Yeah, it
it
makes
is.
sense.
It could be you bring your
They're
lambs
fun.
in at 11 o'clock and what they don't get through the scales.
The lambs
to
are
2.
there, we'll crutch them very quickly.
Oh, but you know what I mean? A big
Yeah.
game when you have
Oh,
7,000 lambs. Like once those lambs
There's
pile
a
up, dude,
limit.
You
we're
can't
looking
envisage-
at a sea of lambs, man.
I know.
It's horrific.
You can't envisage, people can't envisage 7,000 lambs.
It's literally just the thing rammed. But like I've been there in days like
I had once a guy, because we're always needing shearers come April.
Right.
We need shearers come April.
aye,
Everyone's away lambing. And we're like, oh my. So this guy said I phoned him up. I says, can you come in on Thursday? Yeah. How many will I get? I'm like, how many do you want? Oh, I'll need at least 500. I says, no bother. There's over 5,000 coming in.
Yeah,
You fill your boots. He got to about 320 and his arse fell out.
Was that young fella?
We'll need to go to Cars and get him a spoon.
was that when I was there?
I'm not saying any name. No, it
Been to
wasn't
Australia?
actually. No, but it was very funny. You know, just this guy. Everybody's got this magical 500 in their head, and he couldn't do it. But he got to about 400 odd. But we just about had to carry him to his truck.
Yeah.
We've all got to break them in. But there's anything else you want to tell us before we do it? We've got a quiz to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to tell you. There's a quiz we do. Everyone, we have a leaderboard behind us. We have no shearers on it.
Oh no. Okay.
Let me just quickly check the names.
What I would say is...
Well, Archie McGregor's a shearer, to be fair.
Yeah.
He was a shearer on his day, so there's Archie there, potentially. But apart from that...
I would say these are
Cammy, you've
trickier.
got a 9. What's
Yeah,
that?
hard
Iona,
questions.
You're only 7.
I would... Only?
Doug, you say only the questions are brutal, and I tell you, last week's questions...
Can I get 0? Eh?
George, it could happen.
So what my advice to you, Doug, would be if you don't know it and you can't think of just a random thing to guess straight away, just pass. Don't waste your time.
We use the same quiz thing every time, so yeah, but they're hard, Doug. Like
I did them on Tina earlier and she got...
Don't tell us.
Right,
Tell us
okay.
at the end. Okay, so the clock will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Which country was the first to host the modern Olympic Games?
Rome.
Greece. In what year did the Berlin Wall come down?
98.
1989.
Wait,
Who won the best actor? Who won the best actor Oscar for his role in the film The Godfather?
Was it Robert De Niro? It wasn't. It was the other
Marlon Brando. Which country is known as the land of the rising sun?
Japan.
Yes. What is the name of the famous speech delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. in 1963? You know this.
Pass.
I have a dream. What is the name of the famous poem that begins with the line, "Two woods diverged in a yellow wood"?
Pass.
The road not taken. Who wrote the novel 100 Years of Solitude?
Pass.
Gabriel Marquez. Which Norwegian explorer became the first to reach the South Pole in 1911?
Pass.
Roald Amundsen. What is the name of
These
the
are
river
brutal,
that
man.
flows through Rome?
Pass.
Who wrote the novel The Picture of Dorian Gray?
Not me.
Oscar Wilde.
These are horrible.
Right, orthodontists, endodontists and pedontists are experts within which medical field? Orthodontist.
That's feet, isn't it? Or is it teeth?
Teeth,
Teeth.
yes, give him it. Andy Weir's novel The Martian is set on which planet?
Mars.
Yes. The only wild monkey population in Europe can be found in which British overseas territory?
Falklands.
Gibraltar.
Oh, Gibraltar.
Scarlett Alice Johnson played Vicky Fowler in which TV soap? Famous soap.
EastEnders.
Yes. Chroma is the measure of purity of what?
Water.
Colour. Sheer, satin, matte or glossy are all finished types
Paint.
of which makeup item? Makeup. Satin, matte, glossy.
All right. Face stuff.
Lipstick.
All
At
right.
the time. So there, you're number 4. You're in with Mark, Janet, Michael Woods, Andrew Wright.
Not
An
bad.
esteemed club mate. With horrible questions, can I just say?
Awful questions.
Yeah. We're going to swap to chase type questions soon,
Okay.
I think. Doug, been good to have you. Anything else you want to tell us before we finish up?
No,
No
thank you
other
very much
confessions
for
to
having
make.
us.
No, it's been good to have you in a bit of crack, mate. I
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming down.
Thank
Cheers
you so
for having
much.
us. No.
Thank you.
Cheers. And we're back in the room. Iona's recovered from her earlier giggles. Just a nice guy, isn't he?
Lovely man.
He's a nice guy.
Lovely man.
Too nice to be Shearing Contractor. Far too. He's just so nice.
Do you think?
I just think you need to be ruthless when you're in charge of so
Not
many
if you've
boys.
got
but
good boys.
no, that's the thing. I think
And
because
girls.
he is such a decent fella, like the
Mutual
boys,
respect.
mutual respect.
Yeah,
they really,
definitely.
They really shine for him. You know, they work. They're happy to do help him out and do things.
Yeah. I can't wait to get
So for-
crutching. Start my crutching career.
Yeah. That is highly likely that'll never happen. But no, it was a laugh suggesting it. It was a laugh. I laughed about it later that night. I actually wrote it in my diary that night. Iona made a very, very funny joke today. That's an Anchorman quote.
Is it?
Yeah.
My papa wrote a diary every single day.
Did he?
Every single day. Yep.
Yep.
I think there's
How else
something
would you
really
keep a
nice.
diary?
What do you mean?
Do you just do a weekly?
You could, a synopsis of the week, yep.
That's
The
what you could.
highlights.
Yeah.
No, he did, daily. Just what he was up to, what was going on.
My plan is I'll just, in my later years, I'll just look back on the Friday chats
And
that'll be my
be
diary.
Yeah.
What happened that week? Oh, that's right.
yeah, that's
God,
right.
aye. God,
Tough week.
I can't believe we used to sell lambs for £150 a head,
Yeah.
and we still managed to get by.
Yeah.
Look at us now, £500 a fat lamb. Because there's only 6 of us left with sheep. Everything else has been rewilded. But no, anyway, we're going to do a Friday chat.
Yes,
let's do it. Let's move on. Thanks for listening, guys. As always, Dougie's name will be added to the list.
What's up?
He's there already, just below
Ashley, so efficient.
Janet McQuiston, and just above Michael Woods, alphabetical.
Nice place to be.
That's us for this week, folks. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Friday.
Who have you been?
I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we're all fed by farmers.